The amazing Digital Circus. Oh, oh my. All right, yeah, this new popular show on YouTube has gotten a lot of attention, and I mean a lot. As of now, the amazing Digital Circus pilot episode has right about 322 million views. And yeah, that's a lot. As you can obviously see, the show is doing very well for itself. I mean, they even got a Digital Circus store in Japan where they're able to sell their plushies and other merchandise. So, yeah, it seems like they're eating good this year.
Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot and spicy meat. Yeah, boy. That's it. And turn it over. Don't be for 40 minutes, maybe even an hour. Jerky.
And yeah, as you can see, I'm here talking about the amazing Digital Circus episode 2. And I just gotta say, I really enjoyed episode 1. It was great. It was a great start for the show. But damn, I love episode 2. Like, no joke, I felt like I was drinking fine wine with episode 2. It was just, mwah, chef's kiss. I honestly didn't know what to expect when going in episode 2 before it was released. I saw their little promo on Glitch channel, but I just didn't have high hopes at the time for some reason. After watching all the episodes for Has Been Hotel, I was pretty impressed with the show, but at the same time, I was pretty pretty underwhelmed in some parts, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. All I can say is that at the time, I just wasn't really expecting too much when it came to episode 2. This doesn't mean I was looking down on the show, but just didn't have my own thoughts during that time. I just had no idea what I was getting myself into and what to think. And, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. As you could tell, I obviously had no idea what they were cooking up over there. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. So this will obviously contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, I'd recommend go check them out. So in the second episode, we start off with Pomni, where she seems to be alone in the Digital Circus. That is until her arm starts being extracted. Which, for those who don't know, basically if you're losing your mind, you're just going to go crazy and you're going to turn into this weird looking creature and could possibly never come back. So, yeah, keep that in mind. We get to a point where it seems that Pomni is falling into some kind of black void, possibly along with the other characters who were extracted. And we could see that there are characters that are looking down on Pomni, saying that she couldn't make it and she didn't even last a day, which was Ragatha, Jax, and Kane. Thankfully, Pomni wakes up and it was just all a dream.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Alright, so after just seeing that just happen, we see Ragatha checking on Pomni to see if she's doing alright and letting her know that Kane's cooked up another adventure for them to go on. Kane explains that the group has to go on an adventure to the Candy Kingdom in order to stop the bandits from stealing some syrup, as well as capturing the bandits who stole the syrup. Oh, also Zubal's there. So we see the gang arrive at the Candy Kingdom, where they meet the princess for the first time. The princess gives Ragatha a key in order to secure the goods. More on that later. So yeah, the princess gives them a fucking cool Mad Max truck. Fucking love that shit. So we see the gang catch up to the bandits and are having a battle with each other, Mad Max style, and I gotta say, I fucking love it. There's a lot going on during this scene, and I love it so much for that. We got one of the Gators doing a Pizza Tower reference, which I think no one expected that. And we got Kinger throwing a lifeguard at Pomni for no apparent reason, but I love it. I mean, come on, just look at her cute little face. We must protect her at all costs. I think my favorite funny moment during this scene is when one of the Gators is driving the shift gear, but can't due to his arms being too long and needed someone else to do it for him. I don't know, I love it. Anyways, we get to a point where the two trucks collide where Ragatha, Jax, and Kinger fall into what appears to be fudge. Whereas Pomni is still clinging on the Gator's truck and leads to a point where they collide with some canyon wall. I don't know. All I know is that they collide and they end up going under the map. Anyways, we see one of the Gators who was with Pomni in the truck fall into this strange place that he clearly has no idea where he's at. You can see on his facial expression that he looks scared and is unsure what this place is. We see that he runs into a room that appears to have a 3D model of the other two Gator boys as well as other characters including himself. The Gator slowly walks up to his 3D model of himself in order to get a closer look. We can see after he gets a better look at himself, he takes a couple steps back and has a scared look on his face where the camera cuts back and forth to this 3D model. As the camera gets closer and closer with this terrifying music in the background getting louder and louder by the second. I think I really like this scene a lot. This Gator is put in a spot where he's lost. He's scared and confused. He has no idea what's going on and where he's at. We then see Pomni fall into the scene. He begins asking her all kinds of questions like where are they? And why Pomni or any of her friends are not in this room. We can obviously see that the Gator is in a tough spot where he starts to ask who are they and what is he? We clearly see that he's having an existential crisis where he even begins to realize that he's never seen his mom's face. Pomni tries to calm down the Gator and tells him there should be a way for them to get back. We cut back and see he's having a panic attack and ask Pomni one simple question.
I want you to tell me exactly what I am.
We then cut back to the game where we see they've come across the fudge monster who literally just wants to eat them. Who just happens not to be crazy at all.
Oh, they were so delicious. Sometimes I can hear them calling to me.
Yep, totally not crazy. Jax negotiates with the fudge monster, telling him if he helps them to bring the bandits back to the kingdom, he'll send them free. Luckily for the gang, the bandits happened to drop into the fudge, which was really convenient.
I saw the Reaper wink at me.
Wait, what just happened?
We cut back to Pomni trying to find a way out to get back onto the map, whereas we can see the Gator has this depressed look on his face. And yeah, I don't think I could really blame him. I mean, if I was in his spot and I found out all I was supposed to be just a NPC, an obstacle for these characters, I'd be pretty bummed out too. I mean, really bummed. Pomni tries to comfort the Gator by asking if he wants to talk about it. The Gator sees that there really isn't nothing to talk about and sees himself as he has no purpose. Whatever happens to him doesn't really matter after learning the hard, cruel truth. And this entire time, he was just created just for the game to go on a fun adventure on. I genuinely feel bad for this character, and honestly, I could feel like I can relate to him. Pomni sits down right next to the Gator, trying to comfort him, telling him that she may not know exactly what he's going through, but can somewhat relate to that. And that others have kind of felt what the Gator is going through, and tries to cheer him up about his friends waiting for him up there. Which, to his response, was this.
What does it matter? What do we have when you people leave? We're just obstacles. Created to be defeated and forgotten.
Even though the Gator was just created as an obstacle for Pomni and the gang, Pomni tells the Gator that maybe he doesn't have to be what he was created for to be, and invites him to come along with her to the circus. I really love this scene because we get to see what this Gator is going through, something similar that Pomni has went through, where we can see a bit of Pomni in the Gator and a bit of Ragatha in Pomni as well. The Gator questions why Pomni even cares and what does she get out of this. Pomni replies by simply saying she doesn't want him to feel nothing and doesn't want anybody to feel like that, and that she could also use a friend. I just really love that Pomni really cares about this Gator, even though she really doesn't have to. The Gator gets back on his feet and decides to come along with Pomni back to the circus, and only wishes to not tell anyone about this. His brothers, more specifically. We then learn that this Gator's name is actually Gummigoo, which, God, I love that name. It just, chef's kiss. We see Pomni and Gummigoo try out Pomni's plan to get back to the map by putting blocks in front of the truck, by glitching into them, which sends them flying back to the map. We cut back to Ragatha and the others where we see them talking about what happened to Pomni and Gummigoo. Ragatha's worried about Pomni and thinks that Pomni doesn't like her all that much. I'm not gonna lie, after she said that, I kind of felt a little bad for her. It's obvious that she clearly does care about Pomni. I mean, you could see it through the episode. In the beginning where she knocks on the door to see if she's okay, and how she interacts with Pomni so positively as if she was a child. Kinger tells Ragatha to not take it so personally since it's a lot for anyone to go through. Kinger even says that he remembers how long it took Ragatha to adjust to this place. I wasn't expecting King to say something like that, It was nice, and I enjoyed it. Literally out of nowhere, Pomni and Gummigoo crash onto the fudge monster, knocking him out. Ragatha quickly checks on Pomni to see if she's okay. I swear, I'm not even kidding when I say this. I really love Ragatha. I love how she just is so kind to Pomni and just checks up on her. Gummigoo suggests that if his lads could take back one of the trucks, that way they can take the other truck since they're both filled with syrup. Okay, but seriously though, I love how King just goes up to the truck and checks if there's syrup and just casually lets it go all over him. I don't know why. I love King. I also love how Jax is just so disappointed. He really wanted someone to get hurt or something just awful to happen. Not really sure why though. I want to know more about that. There has to be more to that. We then see the crew return to the Digital Circus with Gummigoo right before the candy people are about to be eaten by the fudge monster. Thanks, Jax. Thanks a lot. Oh well, at least Gummigoo was able to come along to the Digital. You are my special. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, unfortunately, Gummigoo was erased or sent back to his world. I don't know. I really don't know what happened. I think he was just erased. Kane reveals that he can't have NPCs running around in order to not mix up with those who are NPCs and those who aren't. Whereas we can see Pomni just having a what the fuck moment, and I really do not blame her. You really feel bad for her since she was trying to do some good in this place, but Kane just says, nope, bye-bye. We then see Zubul letting Ragatha know that the funeral for Cosmo is ready. We see Pomni and everyone else at the funeral except for Kane, Bubble, and Jax. Not gonna lie, it really makes me wonder what's behind Jack's story. We can see on his facial expression how it seems like he kind of cares but doesn't really want to show it. Anyways, one by one give their speech in order to pay their respect to Cosmo as the Digital Circus theme plays in the background. Except only this time, it sounds more sentimental, fitting the scene. We cut back to Pomni where we see she's falling in the black abyss once again, but except this time, she has Ragatha, Kinger, Kangle, and Zubul to be there for her and catch her, showing that she's not alone and has these people to get her through difficult times as the series goes on. We see Pomni smile a bit, having this sense of release or hope that she'll be okay because she has these people that can help her get through difficult times. At the end of the day, maybe that's what we all need every once in a while. Someone to lean on, someone that's able to help us out through difficult times. Someone just to listen to our problems. Someone to be there for us when we need them the most. Maybe that's all we just need.